I started running seriously in 2014, and in that year, I told myself that I wanted to run a half marathon every month. So, and how I trained or prepared for that would be 3 weekly runs after work. I was an intern at the time. I'm at my first kind of serious job, and what I like about running is that it doesn't have a lot of initial startup costs, because you can just kind of just pick up and go. And any runner will probably tell you that, is that you need to get your mind right. The running and the physical part, that's easy. It's the mind that's the biggest component of running. And what keeps me motivated is seeing myself exceed my own expectations. Like, you put a goal for yourself and you go, you know what, I'm going to do this today. Today I'm going to run 8Ks in, I don't know, an hour. And then you actually end up doing it in like 48 minutes. And you're like, wow, I put an hour. Wow, I can actually go this fast. And it just kind of puts a lot of discipline in your life. So when I started running, I would run like after work. In summer it's easy because it's like the sun goes down at 7, but in winter it gets really like dark very quickly. And then obviously running as a girl and alone, there's always like that safety element. So I would run in like my neighborhood, which is good because I had like a good route and it was well lit. And yeah, it's been an amazing journey, and I'm still doing. This year I ran my first comrades, which I never thought, not that I never thought I would. It was a goal that I had put on and then switched off, because sometimes we put all this pressure on ourselves to accomplish these goals so quickly, all in 1 year and in one breath, and it's like you don't have to, because time is a continuum. Like it goes on, and that's what I'm also learning. And the life lessons I've learned is to be disciplined. Like, discipline and showing up and preparation is everything, and it's actually transferred into my life. Like, if I want to run like today, I know that I need to get to work on time, make sure that I push all the work output that I need to do, so I don't have to work after I get home after a run when I'm like tired or need to wind down. And what I also love about running is the friends that I've made. So I know people think, oh, you know, you're a solo runner, but actually not. It's like the running community in its general are a very helpful bunch. Like, you're never really running alone. You can always attach to someone and just be like, look over to your left and be like, hey, this is my first race or whatever. How far are you running? I'm running this far. Can we run together? And the person will say yes. It's very unlikely that a person will say, no, please don't run with me. Like, F off. And they're always very supportive and giving tips, and like, you know, your breathing is all over the show. Control it in through the nose, out through the mouth. You're getting a stitch. Do this, do that, taper this, fix the way you tie your shoelaces if you're having problems with your ankle. I think it just gives back. And also, I found a crew, which is great. I love my crew. I run with Brumpies. The thing is that you never know what's going on with someone internally whilst they're running. Like, they could be going through the most traumatic time in their life, but like running offers that peace. Like, for me, that's like my special prayer time with God, actually, is when I'm on the road. That's where I reconnect and I put everything in line. Like, there could be chaos in my world, but when I'm running, it all fits together and I have an action plan, and I'm like, okay, cool, I need to rethink this, you know. And you know, my first sign of that there's chaos in my life is always that my room becomes messy, and the longer I let it fester is kind of like the longer I don't deal with the issue at hand. So then I'll go run, and then I'm like, you know what, and then we just clear up this. And then once you've cleared that up, then you can move on to the next thing and the next thing. And it's just like taking one step at a time. And it's the same approach that you apply to running. You don't have to think of covering the whole 87 kilometers. Just focus on 10. I'm going to do 10. I can do 10. Cool, I got to 10. And we focus on the next 10. So you break it up into little bite-sized portions of 10 is how you accomplish and beat doing a comrades, or even doing 10Ks. You'd be like, you know what, it's basically 2 park runs. I can do a park run. Cool. Focus on 5Ks. Yeah, I did 5Ks. Now it's the time to do another park run. And it's just, I think what people like to do, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, you always look at the big picture. Yes, look at the big picture in its entirety, but the big picture is made up of multiple smaller little pieces. And that's what you should do. There's all these little pieces help to build the big picture of how you want your life to look, how everyone will see it in the end. And they don't see you putting in the little bits of work. They'll be like, oh my gosh, you're such a great runner, but they don't know, like, in the beginning of the year you were struggling with a hip injury. They just see you at the end. And it's also kind of a lesson to be gracious to yourself and allow yourself that room to make errors and constantly rebuild.